Hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Hayley here. I feel like I should be welcoming myself back because I have not podcasted in so long. Hence the very unprofessional quality of these episodes. I do apologize. Rather than having my situation be perfect and in the perfect scenario where I can, record a nice episode for you, like with good audio, my good mic, and not a baby in the background. Um, in order to just get some content out for you, I'm just doing it as is. So yeah, bear with me. These are not the best quality, but the content is good. This one in particular, I think is going to be really helpful for you because it prevents so many people from hitting their goals, from losing the weight that they want to lose. And that is I should know better. I should know better not to eat foods that won't serve me to lose weight when I want to lose weight. I should know how to do this. I should be able to stop myself from eating these foods. This is surprisingly one of the top reasons why people decide not to work with me. So they come and they tell me, I should know better. Like I shouldn't have to seek out professional help to stop eating things that I know won't help me lose weight. And the thing is, it seems so obvious. It seems like common sense that we would be able to stop ourselves from eating things we don't want to eat, but it goes a lot deeper than that. And it goes to this other part of our brain that actually does want to eat those things. And it is very compelling and it's really good at what it does, which is why you consciously can't just sit there and say, well, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. It has never worked for you and it won't work for you until you understand what's going on, until you have the proper tools to deal with it. If it was easy, if just saying, yeah, I know better, so I'm not going to do it anymore worked, then it would have worked already. You would have already done it. Of course, you would have already done it. We all would have already done it. There would not be the weight issue that there is in this country today if it was that easy. It is truly not that easy because there are a couple things going on under the surface that we can't see. Yes, eating chips on the couch at night is not going to help you to lose weight. Yet every single night, there you are with your bag of chips, polishing off the whole thing, feeling like crap about yourself, and then beating yourself up the next day and repeating that cycle over and over and over again for years. And then you come to me and say, well, I should know better. So I think I'm not going to get professional help. And I usually say, okay, well, you are going to continue to eat those things until you get professional help. So I'm going to go into a couple of points on this topic today to kind of explain to you what's going on, why just knowing better isn't enough, and what you really need to do so that you can stop. So I'll say I found myself in this situation. If you have listened to this podcast before, you probably know a little bit about my story, but I'm going to go into it just briefly here. So, I'm a nutritionist. I've been a nutritionist for over 10 years. Um, I was working as a clinical nutritionist, and I actually, well, okay, I guess I am going to make this long. I quit my job. I started a company. I was so stressed out running this business that I did not know how to run. All of a sudden, my brain was like, you know what fixes stress? Food. And so I found myself in this situation where I was just wanting to eat all the time to manage my stress. And every day I would wake up and I'd say, today's going to be different. I'm going to follow this diet. I'm a nutritionist, right? I know all the diets, I know all the things. On paper, I know all the things. And then I couldn't get myself to follow them. And every night it was like all I wanted to do was sit on the couch with cookies or chips or whatever to make myself feel better. And that's when I realized this goes a lot deeper than diets. So I found myself in this place of really feeling like I should know better. Why why isn't this working for me? Why aren't the diets working for me? I know that I shouldn't be eating chips on the couch at night. So why can't I stop doing it? And that's what kind of got me into like learning about the brain, going into brain training, really figuring out what is happening under the surface, because knowing better isn't enough. I knew all of the things and I couldn't stop. And so you might be advanced listening to this podcast. You might know a lot of things. You might not know a lot of things about nutrition. Regardless of where you are, knowing things about nutrition and about weight loss and about healthy eating is not enough. This has to go deeper. I actually had some of my clients, this was a while back, some of my clients were in my program, they were like, can we get more food advice? More detailed, like what to be eating. And I filmed this video for them and I said, we all know what to be eating in a general sense. If I said French fries or salad, you know that's not the problem. The problem is your brain. If you were here eating the things that would serve you to lose weight, you wouldn't be here. Okay, I said that wrong. If you could eat the things that would serve you to lose weight, you wouldn't be here. So that's not the problem. We have to take this deeper. So that's what this episode is going to be about. So I'm going to get into a couple of quick points here. So here's why it isn't easy. You have two parts of your brain. You have that part of your brain that's telling you, I should know better. That's your the cognitive part of your brain, the human part of your brain, the part of your brain that should know better. And then you have this primitive part of your brain. It's a little bit deeper. It's the part of your brain that we have in common with all of the rest of the animal kingdom. And that part of your brain is pain and pleasure based. It is motivated to get dopamine to feel good. And it knows it can get dopamine from food, from junk food, more specifically. Less so from a salad, more so from a bag of Cheetos. So it knows that. And all it wants to do, it doesn't have any conscious cognitive part of it. It's not deep down in there saying, I want to look good in a bikini this summer. It's like Cheetos, dopamine, that's great. Stress feels better momentarily. Let's do that. That will preserve us. It is life preserving. It's trying to keep you alive. And so it's going to continue to tell you to go get the chips. Even though you know better, there is another part of your brain that is a lot stronger at this moment. That part of your brain's like metaphorical muscle has been exercised a lot more than the other part of your brain's metaphorical muscle to get you to eat that food. It knows exactly what to do to get you to eat that food, which is why in those moments you feel so powerless, you feel so out of control. You're likely sitting there going, I don't want to do this, but you feel like you can't stop. And that's why, because there's this other part of your brain that's kicking in and it's creating all of this excitement and anticipation for that food and justification of why you can eat it. And you don't have the tools to be able to kick into the other part of your brain. I was going to say kick into drive, whatever, to get into the cognitive part of your brain and manage this primitive part of your brain. You don't. You are Pavlov's dog. The bell is ringing and your mouth is watering, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Knowing better doesn't help. So, really, you have to take this to a deeper level, understand what's going on, and in that moment, be able to really slow it down. Use some actual tools to slow things down so that you can minimize the amount of excitement and anticipation that you have for that food. You can take control. You can put that part of your brain that wants to lose weight back into control. That's what you really need to do. And that's what I teach in my program. So, secondly, no amount of knowing better will be able to prevent you from doing this. I kind of just said this, so I didn't read my notes very well. But no amount of knowing better is really going to be able to prevent you from doing that until you have the real tools to be able to slow this down, see what's happening in your brain, and work through it in the moment. A lot of times, I just talked about this on an episode I just recorded, but a lot of times we wake up in the morning and we're like, well, tonight it won't be a problem for me. But it's been a problem for you every single night for the last year, the last 5 years, or whatever. It is going to be the same thing is going to happen tonight because, again, that part of your brain, the bell is ringing at 9 p.m. when Netflix goes on and the kids are in bed. The bell rings and your brain's like, it is time to get our dopamine. Give us that reward. Your brain sees a cookie and it's like, there it is. There's our dopamine. Let's get it. And it is going to convince you to go get that cookie or go get the chips or whatever it is. And this isn't even something that I think talking ourselves out of. I don't really think that's very effective either. I do know some coaches and teachers who do a lot of like talk yourself out of it. I think we really have to take it to the emotional side, that physiological response that our body has to the food. We really have to take it to that level to kind of calm everything down. Because if you're familiar with like really wanting to eat something, you feel very your body is having a physiological response. Like it is primed to run to the kitchen and get that food. You feel very excited, you feel like tingly, and we have to really tackle it there. We can't just think our way out of this. Again, thinking our way out of it is knowing better, and that doesn't work. You do know better. You're probably already trying to think your way out of it. It doesn't really work. We can't really argue with a part of our brain that doesn't work in sentences, if that makes sense. It's just like, it's drooling, okay? It's not like having a lot of conscious thought. It's just like, it's time. Give us that dopamine. So it's really difficult to think your way out of. You really need some deeper level tools and understanding in order to work through it. And it is 100% possible. This isn't something that you have to deal with the rest of your life. It is something that you have to deal with the rest of your life if you keep telling yourself that you should know better and that this should be easy and that you should be able to just quit doing it at any point. Again, I say, if that were true, you would have done it already. And a lot of us wouldn't have this problem that we do if it was true and it was easy. Okay. And the third thing I want to mention is that diets really don't teach this. So sometimes people do come and they say this, I should know better, and I think I'm just going to try this other diet. And diets really don't teach this. They are kind of like thinking that, like I just said, they're kind of like thinking your way out of it. Like, your body's wanting to go get the chips, and you're sitting there, well, I should follow this list of foods, and it says no chips, and so I shouldn't want to do it. That's kind of like the level of help that diets provide, is a list of foods that you can and can't eat, and really nothing deeper to help you manage that experience in the moment and be able to like not go get the chips. That's what you really need is some deeper level help to figure out, to know what's going on in your brain and work through that in the moment. Okay. So that's what I have for you on that topic. If you are finding yourself in this place of like diets, or oh my God, I just read that word, so it just came out of my mouth, of I should know better. This should be easy. This shouldn't be something I'm struggling with, or I feel like a fraud because, like I know something about nutrition and it's still really hard for me. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself out of that place, because it is keeping you stuck. It's not helping you. It's not serving you to move forward. And no, you shouldn't know better. You don't know better. Give yourself some grace there and peace of mind in knowing that when I had to go figure this out, it was not easy to figure this out. It took years to figure this out. And you're probably not going to be able to do it I mean, you probably could, maybe spend a couple of years working on this, but you're probably not going to be able to figure this out on your own. And there is nothing wrong with getting help and asking for help and seeking it when you know someone has the answer that you're looking for. It's silly not to. And telling yourself that you should know better is silly. truly, truly silly. Like, go get what you need to make this not a problem in your life anymore. And you can move on with your life and do something else with your brain power and something else with your time. Then think about not eating the chips tonight. Okay. So that is the episode for you today. It was so good being here with you. I will see you soon. Bye.